Forward to that. Maybe on Thursday we can have you back to talk about that second part of the poll. Thank you, Susan Page, as always. And Friday, of course, a big day for the White House. March's unemployment numbers will give us our latest clue as to whether the economic recovery is really gaining traction or not. For African Americans, though, it has been a particularly desperate situation. While the unemployment rate overall for whites is below 9% finally, the rate among African Americans remains stubbornly high, nearly 16%. With me now, California Democrat Barbara Lee, who chairs the Congressional Black Caucus. Congresswoman, thank you very much for joining us. Just talking about the effects of the health care bill and the fact that much more education is needed with Susan Page, and that the president has not been able to pivot as quickly as some might want him to jobs and unemployment. You in particular have deep concerns about the unemployment picture for Americans.
That's right, Andrea. The unemployment picture is not good at all. However, when you look at where we were when President Obama took office and where we are now, at least we're beginning to stabilize the unemployment rates and the jobless rates. People are desperate. First of all, the African American and Latino jobless rates are twice the national average. The Congressional Black Caucus has mounted a 5-week campaign to focus on jobs, jobs, jobs. We believe that we must provide targeted approaches for the chronically unemployed. For example, just last week we passed an extension of our direct job creation effort to the tune of $2.5 billion, which will help people keep people from falling into poverty and create more jobs. We also passed a summer youth job initiative, though not enough. It will create 300,000 to 400,000 jobs, but we have to hurry up and get that done because our young people need jobs. Unfortunately, they are now helping their parents who are jobless put food on the table, help them pay the rent. And so we have to address youth unemployment in a big way. But we also have to have direct job creation, and I'm very pleased that Chairman Miller has introduced a direct job creation bill. I'm the co-sponsor, and many members of the Congressional Black Caucus are. And that would provide for direct investments in job creation and infrastructure and the healthcare sectors, and in all of those sectors where we know that we see growth in terms of the job market. And finally, let me just say, Andrea, we have to have workforce training and job training and pre-apprenticeship and apprenticeship training programs, because so many people who are of the chronically unemployed populations have not had the skills nor the training for the jobs that are going to be created in these high growth areas. So we have to have a comprehensive approach to job creation. People will begin to pay their taxes because they'll have money to spend, and of course that will help our overall fiscal situation and begin to help bring down the deficit.
Well, Congresswoman, one of the things that the president talked about today with Matt Lauer on the Today program was that some of these blue-collar jobs are gone forever. This is a syndrome that we, of course, have seen over the recent decades. Bill Clinton memorably talked about it quite a bit. This is the President Obama, today with Matt.
As companies shed workers, they learn through automation to do more with less. And so what I'm concerned about is how do we start re-employing a whole bunch of folks whose jobs aren't there anymore.
And those are the very people, very often, are the minorities who are at the lower rungs of the employment ladder who need retraining. And as you're pointing out, that money has to become available. But, of course, there's not a lot of money to spread around, discretionary money in this budget.
Unfortunately, the previous administrations allowed for tax credits for outsourcing, for shutting down American jobs, and people need retraining now because we have lost our manufacturing base. It's very important what the president did, and I'm so proud of the fact that he signed this bill today that would create a large infusion of resources into our community colleges, because community colleges are essential for workforce retraining for workers who have been laid off to develop new skills and training for the jobs of the future. And so training, apprenticeship training, pre-apprenticeship training has to be part of any comprehensive jobs initiative. Here we have a green industry. We have to have jobs based on energy efficiency. That's $1 trillion business. We have a healthcare sector. Many jobs are going to be created in the healthcare industry. And so we have to have people trained for those jobs. Part of the healthcare bill allowed for that training and retraining chain to be developed. And so that is essential in our economy now, and it's really unfortunate that we have lost so many jobs. They've gone offshore. Automation has shut many workers out of the workforce, and so we have a moral responsibility and a duty to help retrain people who lost their jobs and to help create jobs that are sustainable. And again, people are desperate. People need jobs, and we have to turn this economy around and do it quickly.
Congresswoman Barbara Lee, chair of the Congressional Black Caucus, thank you very much for being with us today. And coming up next, President Obama strikes out at those Tea Party activists, Pat Buchanan and John Ferry, weighing in next on Andrea Mitchell Reports.
Suddenly, the passage of this bill is Armageddon. And as I pointed out, the next day after I signed it,